Hey there, it's Diane Banks, voice actress and radio personality in Chicago. Please take a second to subscribe if you haven't yet. Got about 170 videos for you now. What to watch next? Here's some suggestions for you, including Disney Frozen News Update on the Broadway musical coming up, the TV Holiday Special, and the Disney Cruise edition of Frozen. So, take a peek at that and running on to our comments here. On that very video, Tommy Beats says, nice vid. Thanks, Tommy. Cupcake Sparkle says, don't you think Jennifer Lawrence would be amazing as Elsa? I certainly do. That was one of the questions I was asking. Who would you cast in the upcoming musical for Broadway and also the cruise line show? So I think she'd be great. And she also says, nothing to do with this video, but I wanted to tell you how much I support you and your channel and how I want you to know that your videos make my day. Thank you. Well, thank you. That's a lovely comment. I appreciate you so much, all of you guys who subscribe, especially my long-term peeps like Cupcake and Tommy. So thanks, you guys. So please take a second to subscribe if you haven't yet. Have I reminded you enough to subscribe today? All right, so this is from the Disney Parks blog. They did a thing on 13 reasons that Disney Parks fans still love Horizons today. I thought it'd be fun for us to do a little retro. Because I hope you're old enough to remember this ride. It ran for 16 years, from 1983 to 1999. It was a $60 million ride. Sadly replaced, but you know, times change and you have to upgrade. But it was fun for a lot of us, and I thought it'd be fun for us to take a peek back. So this might be a first trip for you, or it might be a little trip down memory lane like for me. So taking a peek here, here's some of the things that they say are the reasons we all still love it. The Future Port departure sign, because you could go anywhere. It made you feel like space travel was possible, like the Astral Base 4, Space Shuttle 1A, on time. And actually, I don't know if you remember this, but in the ride, you get to pick which destination you want to travel to. And we'll take a peek at that coming up. But here's another of the reasons we love it. In the future home, just about anything was possible thanks to robots who cooked, cleaned, and even took care of one's personal grooming. I got some parts of the video we'll take a look at here. But I loved looking at these rides where while your car is going by, you look at all the neat little things in the background and all the decorations. I love this carpet. And he was getting groomed here. And if we go back, we can see the close-ups on the robot, adorable housekeeping robot, who I thought was very cool for his time. Today, he kind of reminds me of Roomba, even though that's a short little right, house cleaner. But it kind of reminds me of that same sort of thing. And then this one was the robot who was the chef, who had some goofs here in the kitchen and things were falling and flying. But it was kind of fun to take a peek at that. And the cute kitty cat. So before we move on to the next thing, let's take a peek here, because one of my favorite parts of this ride that they don't talk about, as we see the cleaning robot here, when we come around the corner, and here's the guy getting groomed. Thanks to Kim Peterson, by the way, he had the best footage I found online. This part, where if you go to the upstairs, there's the mom taking a bath, watching TV on a retro tube with lots of bubbles. Remember all the bubbles, and the bubbles would float by on the ride? I loved that part. That was fun. And they didn't talk about that in the 13 reasons we love it, so I thought I'd mention. But here's a Kit Kat, and then there's the robot with the mess cleaning up. Colors are a little washed out, but still, I think this video is really good for its time, because you know didn't really have small phones and things like we do now. But remember this part, they were making the birthday cake. Now if you remember who the cake was for, whose birthday it was, make sure to put it in the comments. I actually don't remember, but I'll find out, and then we'll see with your help if we're right. This part was fun too. Remember the orange smell when we were at the part of the ride where it was future technology farms, and that orange smell, I loved that. This was fun. The one that says, who didn't want to test out the piano of the future or the Holmes hologram phone? So here's the photos of that, and then we take a peek. Let's see if we can go find that. Here we go. The music was nice too, but look at the dog, who looks like the dog from Carousel of Progress too. And then there's our hologram phone. You couldn't really see it in the photo, but that was always a cool thing too. you know, being able to talk to people anywhere in the world. I mean, we can do that now with video, but at the time we couldn't. And then, let's see, which part do we go on to? Oh, these are the hydroponic plants. And then we're moving on to, oh yeah, there's the orange farm, or the smell of the oranges. I'm assuming they were growing oranges. Okay, so before we go on to that, let's see, what was the next thing I had for you? Oh yeah, the birthday kid. Yeah, so let's take a peek at that really quick. This was another thing, like, you know, today we Skype, but at the time, how cool was this? You could talk to your brother and sister in another city or country or space station, wherever they were. And so remember this conversation they were having here while the parents were making the birthday cake in the other room? And then they came around the corner, and there we see the other side of the conversation. There's the brother, and then his sister. Sorry about that. And then his sister was on the TV. I got a little trigger happy there and skipped. But there it is. Now he's working on it, and then we see her on the screen. Okay. It's kind of funny, you know, the impatience now that we have, right? Because the ride kind of moves slowly, and today we're like, all right, what's the next scene? Anyway, so here was the kids. They said this was another cool thing that we love. The kids in school in the deep sea. Wouldn't that be an amazing way to go to school, with the world of liquid space? And then, is this the one I have of that? Let's see. Yeah, here they are. Here's the kids. And then around the other side, again, I'm getting impatient. The floating cities. Didn't you love these? They don't mention those, but I thought the floating cities were extremely cool. Here we see some people out for dinner. And then the next floating city was the one that had the seal. Oops, sorry. There's me being impatient again. Here it is with the kid with the seal. I just thought those floating cities were super cool too, even though they don't mention those. Okay, so Horizon Workspace is literally out of this world, and they also mentioned this part, gravity was optional. That was fun. Remember, there's the dog floating by with the kids. And then there's the birthday cake. So who was the birthday cake for? Let me know in the comments. And also, as we wrap up here, and then they said this was the part where we talked about where you could pick your destination, whether sea, desert, or space. So let me know in the comments, which would you choose, or which did you choose when you went on the ride? I used to choose space a lot, the Omega, but they also had the Sea Castle Resort or Mesa Verde for the desert. So let me know which one you picked or would pick. Were there favorite moments of the ride for you, either when you went on the ride or if you didn't, just from what we saw today? I have to say, for me, it would definitely be like the floating cities, this robot with a little kitty cat, and the mom in the tub, which I showed you a minute ago too. But kind of fun to float in the destination. So love to know your comments and your favorite moments from Horizon. So thanks for watching. As always, it's Diane Banks. Please take a second to subscribe. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.